I am in Shanghai, China, and I'm at a marriage market. This is where Chinese parents and grandparents come to find wives and husbands for their children.
A lot of young men say all women are the same, that they are all delusional, and one could easily say, well, that's for women in the West, women in Asia are different. Think about it. Why would some right-thinking men, quote and unquote passport bros, go over there to Asia to look for wives? But it's now clear to a lot of us that women in the West are better compared to older single ladies in China. They are the most delusional and arrogant sets of women, yet they are so left over that their parents and grandparents are the ones trying to find them husbands. You would be surprised that you can go marriage shopping in China, just like you are going grocery shopping. I'm not trying to compare women or marriage to stuff on a shelf in store, but it is what it is.
Being single wasn't a big deal, but at that moment, I changed my mind. I decided I couldn't live alone anymore. I, too, want to find someone suitable to share my life with. After recovering and being discharged, I shared this decision with my family and friends, even expressing my intentions through a matchmaker. I believe that once you've made up your mind, you must approach it methodically to achieve your goal. I took some time to outline my criteria for a potential partner, ensuring that my requirements were clear and specific. However, when I shared these criteria with the matchmaker, to my surprise, she fell silent for quite a while, said nothing, and even turned and walked away. This reaction left me puzzled. I asked myself, my demands aren't
Prepare for a shock at the delusion of these Chinese leftover women. Have you thought about the chances of having a female matchmaker walk away from her clients after hearing her requirements from a man? Probably she went to think about what she could have done wrong to deserve such a client. It's hilarious that these Chinese leftover women are so arrogant and delusional, and it's always the ones that say they are not asking for much. To get a better understanding, let me show you who a leftover woman is in China.
China, if a woman is over 30 years old and she is not married, she will be called 剩女, 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 which means leftover woman.
Anyone who comes across videos of women ranting about how they can't find a man will probably conclude that men are terrible and lack marriage qualities like the capacity to provide, be available, and all of the other manly or husband things. One thing to think about is, isn't it strange that a woman is seeking a husband, especially in Asia, where we all believe traditional women are abundant? Still, it seems to be the opposite for a group of delusional women. Guess what? They are not young yet. They are even more delusional than the young ones, and they are also the ones who are tired of their lonely life, and they need a man by all means, as fast as possible. In all honesty, I have not less than 30 Asian women looking for husbands on the internet. It is always the 30s and 40s. The question then is, what happened to them in their early 20s? What were they doing? What were their focus and priorities? If it takes a woman to start getting worried about marriage and become the one seeking men and making videos to list her standards, she is done for, and that is in itself a red flag.
I am 40 years old and unmarried. For various reasons, I haven't gotten married all these years, which has made me a so-called leftover woman in the eyes of others. However, my living conditions are quite good. I am currently a department manager in a large company with a stable high income. I own a car and a house, and my job is considered respectable. Honestly, my requirements for my future partner shouldn't be particularly high. Here are my general criteria for a partner. First, in terms of age, I hope he is around my age, or I can accept up to 50 years old. However, he must be mature, steady, have a stable job, and a reliable income. Regarding height, I hope he is between 1.75 meters and 1.80 meters, which is within my acceptable range. Additionally, his personality must be gentle, not irritable, responsible, caring, and understanding of life, with no bad habits. As for appearance, I hope he is handsome to some extent, at least someone I can be proud to show off. I value face a lot, so my boyfriend must give me enough respect in front of relatives and friends and even pamper me. Second, regarding the betrothal gift, I specifically require him to provide 880,000 yuan as a bride price. This is not because I am greedy for money, but because I believe that marriage costs more for women than men. This money is a form of financial security for me and a recognition of my worth. In other words, if a man cannot meet this requirement, it only proves that he doesn't value or recognize me enough. Besides, the betrothal gift is a traditional custom in China and a token of sincerity in marriage. If he is unwilling to spend money on a woman, such a man is not qualified to talk about marriage. Third, I hope his monthly income is at least 30,000 yuan, and all his income must be managed by me. I will allocate the 30,000 yuan into 3 parts: 10,000 yuan for my personal expenses, such as skincare products, bags, clothes, or daily necessities, another 10,000 yuan for household expenses, and the remaining 10,000 yuan for savings, either for emergencies or for future retirement. Fourth, I am open to him being single, widowed, or divorced, but on the condition that he cannot have children living with us. If he has children, they cannot live with us, although I don't mind if he occasionally visits them. However, if he spends money on or buys things for his children, he must inform me in advance. One more thing. I cannot accept a male child. If he has children, they must be daughters for me to consider being with him. Again, I emphasize that the children absolutely cannot live with us. Fifth, I hope he has both a car and a house. The car should be worth at least 600,000 yuan, and the house must be a property in a school district. Moreover, once we get married and register, the ownership of the house and car must include my name. This is not me being demanding but a basic guarantee in marriage. After all, once we are married, we are family, and as his wife, I am entitled to half of the assets. This is very reasonable, isn't it? These are my criteria for a partner. I personally believe that my own conditions are excellent, and my demands are really not excessive. They are practical and realistic requirements. The purpose of these criteria is based on ensuring both of us have a happy life in the future. However, the matchmaker seemed troubled after.
Up until this video, I have not seen a woman as delusional and unaware as this. I mean anywhere around the world. Her requirements are not much. She just wants to own the guy and make him into a vending machine. According to Google, as of the time I made this video, 880k yuan is equal to $120,000. This means a 40-year-old leftover wants a 120k deposit to agree to marry anyone. It is a level of arrogance for me. Apart from the 880k, she will collect his salary. 1/3 of it will go to her skincare, shoes, and bag shopping. I thought I had seen delusion in the West, but this is the wild. There's no doubt that the reason why she has been single all her life is not by choice. She has tried and failed to get a man-slave and given up on the idea, and it got reignited when she was sick.
我今年呀40出头，至今单身。
I am 40 years old this year and have been single all my life. Recently, I fell ill and was hospitalized. During my stay, a woman of similar age to me was also in the hospital. What left a deep impression on me was her husband's meticulous and thoughtful care for her. He was incredibly attentive and considerate, which moved me greatly and made me rethink my own life. I used to think being single wasn't a big deal, but at that moment, I changed my mind. I decided I couldn't live alone anymore. I, too, want to find someone suitable to share my life with. After recovering and being.
Now, if this was the story that pushed her to want to get married, how did anything in her list of requirements correlate to who the man in her story is? If all she wanted was a man who would be there for her and take care of her. What is having a house in a particular area and driving a car not worth less than $80,000 doing on her list? You see how delusional this is? Yeah, this is the level of arrogance leftover women have in China. 880,000 bride price, 30,000 month blah blah blah. She needs an exorcist. These women are truly unbelievable. Not one mentioned love. I am a 40-year-old woman. Betrothal gift, 880k. I take 100% of your salary. I am totally not after your money. The fact she kept on repeating that she was not after the money, or she was not asking for much. She just needed to be financially secure. Because marriage is risky for women. The question is, who is more risk than the man who gives all his salary away to a woman? A woman has to be so delusional to think there are plenty of good men in their right, future-oriented mind to submit their hard work and life to her without earning the right to deserve that honor. You were nowhere when this man was struggling it out with no help, no support, no comfort. And then, you show up in your 30s and 40s when the man has dealt with all his demons and you want to be the queen of his kingdom. Now these women are shocked that men are not what they think they are. Men are looking for younger women, women who have biological advantage over them, and they don't seem to understand why.
Even though I only earn 2,000 yuan a month, 6 million means nothing to me. My marriage requirements include a dowry of no less than 6 million yuan. I'd also like a house for my brother, another house for my parents, a villa for myself, a sports car, and a Rolls-Royce. After all, my parents raised me, and it wasn't easy for them. Asking for these things isn't unreasonable, right? Even though I only earn 2,000 yuan.
Sometimes these videos sound like funny skits to me. Like there's no way someone said this, especially someone in this condition. Let me make it easy again. She makes around $300 per month, which is 2,000 yuan, and she wants $800,000 as the bride price. She is also demanding a house for her brother and a house for her parents because they raised her to make 2,000 yuan monthly. On top of that, she will get a villa, a sports car, and a Rolls-Royce. Hoflation is so real in China. Sometimes I just think that the women don't have an idea what they are saying. Being left over and asking for millions of dollars to marry you is a very wild thing. No woman in any condition, left over or fresh from the oven, should make such a demand. American women and these Beijing women should get together sometime and go bowling or something. They have a lot in common. I think women in the West should be considered sane compared to this. A woman in the West would say she wants her man to make this amount annually, not to take all the money and give her and buy real estate for all her family members to watch her grow into a demanding and entitled adult. Passport bros are about to start scratching China off their list. These are just examples of how helpless some women are, desperate and delusional. The men who can help these women are not available. They should reach out to the Transformers to help them create a man. Welcome back to Manhood, the biggest and most up-to-date channel, presenting you with the unbiased truth of modern society. Thank you for watching, and get set for more exciting videos. Much love to you guys.